Okay, I think I got a little in over my head because like usual I see like a date of some sort and something else is happening in my mind and I think, you know what, maybe I can coincide these things. Yeah, that'll be special and cool and funny. And I just noticed that there is just one chapter that is 3 hours long that is coming up, and that's gonna happen before the end of the story, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. At least I don't think so. I have other things that I want to do along with finishing episode 4, at least the chapters, not including question mark and tea party. At least just the chapters on my birthday, which is in 2 days. I want to also, I actually draw a webtoon, and this webtoon, right, I also want to coincide the newest chapter, or I guess I should say page, with my birthday. I just got done drawing that chapter, well, not finishing it, but getting on it. You know what, I'm talking too much. Let's just fucking go. Wait a minute. Dungeon? Didn't we already do this one? Barely make out the state of things around them. It appeared to be old, forgotten, dusty underground storehouse with some kind of furniture haphazardly thrown into it. Didn't we? Okay, we didn't do this. Sorry, fuck. Okay. However, even with just a little light, one could at least tell that it probably wasn't a storehouse, because that room was sealed off with iron bars. My girl! Kraus. You know what? I do not like Kraus. However, he was very brave for seeing what was going on, and he charged fucking Ginzo and 00. And you know what? I mean, you gotta hand it to him, man. Actions speak louder than words, and he fucking acted. He stood up, he fucking manned up, and he tried to take charge, even if he couldn't do it. Yo, that's all that matters. You try to do something, even if you don't accomplish it. They had been dropped into what had appeared to be a pit and fallen into this room. Therefore, it would be appropriate to think that this room was directly below the dining hall. However, not even Kraus could bring himself to believe that there were pitfalls rigged in the beloved dining hall where he had enjoyed his meals for years, and that directly below it was this dungeon-like room. Yeah, that's a little weird. But the ceiling, when they looked up, was made of rugged stone, and they could not understand from where in that ceiling they could have fallen. No, all 5 people who had been dropped here thought the same thing. Although they had felt a sensation of being dropped into a pit, there was no way there could be pitfalls in the dining hall, nor could this dungeon-like place be directly underneath it. But in point of fact, they had fallen into this place and were locked in, and so they were confused. I'm just trying to think about how the human side is gonna fight this. And it's still dawning on me how fucking silly the whole premise is. Like, it's like, how would... Whatever. Shun, Kano, 君たちはこんな部屋の存在を知っていたかね?
いいえ、僕たちもこのような部屋のことは存じかねます。
本当に?
They could be lying.
本当です。本当にこの部屋知りません。
It seemed that Kirie thought that there was a good chance that, despite their age, they might know of the mansion's secret tricks as servants permitted by the one-winged eagle. Bitch. Kirie is fucking wait a minute. I just started to think, what if this leads to... What's the name of that fucking, where Ava found the gold? What if this leads to there? There was a long silence, as if evaluating their answer.
いや、シャノンたちが知らないのは事実だろう。何しろ、綺麗好きのシャノンだ。彼女がこの部屋を知っていたなら、もっとピカピカに磨き上げているだろう。
Okay, yes, that's the truth.
この部屋の汚さが、君たちがこの部屋を知らないことの証だ。今はそんなことより、 これからどうするかの方が先決だと思わんかね。その通りです。警察に、いえ、それから救急にも早く電話をしなければ。
How about both? Nanjo's words rang hollow. Obviously, 6 people had been killed in the dining hall. They had all witnessed the exact moment when the 6 had been killed. And what's more, it had been done by half destroying their heads. Anyone could tell with just a single glance that they had been dealt a fatal injury. Everyone understood that calling for an ambulance now would be completely meaningless. How would one even get here? We're on a fucking island.
私たちは伴侶がもう生きてはいないことを理解できてる。気休めでも救急と言い添えてくれてありがとう。
Wow, man, what is my girl gonna do, bitch? Okay, that's very... Okay, I did not expect this shit. He was always such a fucking hard ass, not wanting to show any emotion, and now he's showing emotion. Once again, the oppressive silence took control of them. But Kraus shook his head harshly over and over and decided just for now to forget the pain of losing his wife. I would die on the spot if I lost Natsuki, and dedicated himself to figuring out where they were. Dude, if I lost her, holy shit. I think that's fair. I think that's been fair to say. Honestly, dude. Yes, long past for sure. Nobody answered. Without any kind of discussion or mercy, 6 people had been killed in an instant. And Kinzo had so boldly proclaimed for them to become sacrifices in a 13-person murder trial. Since they had been locked up in this place, they too would probably become the ritual's next sacrifices before long. Around this time, their eyes were becoming used to the darkness, and bit by bit, they were starting to be able to make out the dungeon's interior. Okay. What they thought was furniture haphazardly left in the dungeon turned out not to be furniture at all. They were small cages that could be used to imprison a single person, restraining tables, or were those torture racks? And at any rate, it was obviously more ghastly than a mere jail cell. Since those objects were rusted and covered in thick layers of dust, there was no doubt that they had been long forgotten. Maybe you could even have called those things Kinzo's sealed and forgotten madness. However, it was this room in which they had now been locked away. Those objects weren't exactly comforting to people who were locked up, hoping to be released without harm. Someone gonna pop up?
とにかくここを抜け出そう。私たちは伴侶や友人を失い、涙を流すことに時間を費やしたいが。
How are these rusted? They must be some weak ass. They look like some weak ass
今は
bars.
それ以上に子供たちの身が心配だ。
Right. That will give you superhuman strength. The adrenaline.
お子様方はご無事でしょうか。
祈るしかない。そういえば、熊沢さんと郷田さんはここにはいないな。
ひょっとすると無事に逃げ延びられたのかも。
かもしれませんな。子供たちと合流しててくれれば心強いのですが。
郷田さんはいざという時頼りになるし、熊沢さんは経験豊富で落ち着いてるし。
Right. Golda, even though he is, a little bit of, what's the words? The only word that could come to mind is bitch. But I don't mean it like that. Coward. He's a big dude.
きっと力になってくれると思います。
And you know what? Last fucking episode, when it was him, George, and Shannon in the motherfucking Natsuhi's room, he stepped up, dude. He was scared, and didn't I say he is brave? He has courage.
そうだといいがな。
Shannon and Kraus smiled bitterly a little, but they quickly realized how improper that was and stopped, clearing their throats.
楽観はできないよ、姉さん。僕らに続いて、もう襲われてしまってる可能性だってある。
同感ね。お父様が食堂で執行したのは魔女の碑文の第1の番の6人殺しなんでしょ？
Oh shit. Okay,
なら
they're catching on to
第
that.
2の番は寄り添いし2人を引き裂け。
Dude, no way. Fucking. Okay, no, they did know about this before. Like, they have talked about it. But now they're really
逃
talking
げ
about it.
隠れて寄り添っている郷田さんと熊沢さんがもう殺されている可能性だって否定できないわ。きっとゲストハウスに合流してて子供たちを守ってくれているなんて楽観、現時点では全くできないわよ。
Kiria coldly analyzed the worst case scenario. Even for her, it was heartbreaking to have lost her beloved husband. But right now, the most important thing was protecting that husband's son, along with the other children, from becoming sacrifices for the insane family head. She overcame her sadness with a parental urge to protect the children. It seemed that both Kiria and Kraus were strong enough to forget their grief, if only for the time being. They could let their tears flow later. For now, in order to protect the children, they had to act.
とにかくここを脱
Dude, I
出し
fucking
よう。
love that family, dude. Like, honestly, the fucking... Well, that specific family, Kiria, Rudolph, Battler, Angie, I fucking love them, specifically.
相当古い牢屋のようだ。なんとか鉄格子を破れないだろうか。
Yes,
室
break
内を
them.
くまなく探して脱出手段を探してみよう。
Maybe there's a
ここ
specifically
にはガラ
very
クタ
loose
がいろ
bar.
いろあるわ。何か役に立ちそうな道具とか落ちてないかしら。
Maybe you can use a tool to pry the
武
bars
器になるも
apart.
のがあるかもしれないし、鉄格子を破れるものがあるかもしれない。
Yes. Kiria pulled a lighter from her pockets. She herself didn't smoke, but she kept one tucked away in her pocket to light Rudolph's cigarettes. Very considerate. It was an extremely valuable source of light for searching through this dim dungeon, as long as there's fuel in it.
シャノンはキリエさんを手伝い、室内を探索してくれ。カノンは私と一緒に鉄格子の具合を確かめてみよう。これだけ古い牢屋だ。ひょっとするとガタが来ているかもしれない。
私は何をお手伝いしましょうかな。
Oh, my boy, Nanjo.
体力を温存していてください。やがてここに親父殿が現れるだろう。親父殿に言葉が届くのは南條先生だけです。
Even a little bit, I guess.
南條先生に我々の命は握られているかもしれない。
Nanjo's life is in... No, our hands are in his life. Dude, I love it. I
私の
love
言葉な
it.
どもう届きはせんでしょう。申し訳ないが、そのお役には立てそうにない。
なら、南條先生のお医者としての知識を貸してください。人間を即座に混沌させるような毒って存在するのかしら。
There is no way. But wait, hey, we're talking about... Yes, you know what? There actually is a drug. I know about it. It's called a bullet to the head. But if you want me to be serious, isn't it called... what the fuck? I see it in the movies all the time. They put like some drug or some fucking liquid on some cloth. They put it up to their face and then they go to sleep.
人間を即座に混沌させる毒？どういうことですか？
私たちは落とし穴に落とされて、この地下牢に落ちてきたと信じている。あの混乱している場で、私たちはそうだったろうと信じたわ。でも、この地下牢の広さを測ってみて分かった。この地下牢が、あの食堂の地下というのはありえないことなのよ。
どう
Really?
してありえないってわかるんですか？
姉さんはバカだな。
Oh, Canon, don't say that.
この地下牢は食堂に比べて狭すぎる。
その通り。
Okay, I have a little bit of a problem with that because I don't exactly see like they could just make it smaller because they wanted it to be smaller, right?
1番目に落とされたのはクラウス兄さん。2番目が私。クラウス兄さんはこの部屋に落ちてきた時、その場を動いたかしら。
Oh, that's what they meant. No, okay, I'm stupid. Yes, I understand
お
what
恥
they
ずか
said.
しながら落下の痛みでうめいていたよ。そのすぐ傍らにキリエさんがすぐに落ちてきたんだ。
食堂でのクラウス兄さんと私の立ち位置と、落下時の落下場所の距離が明らかにおかしいのよ。
Okay, yes, okay. I'm sorry.
確
I
かに
understand
言わ
what
れ
they're
てみ
saying
れ
now.
ば、
Right.
その通りです。
Right, what am I saying? I'm supposed to fucking come up with theories for this being committed by humans.
その次に落ちたのは私だから、お二人の位置関係はよく覚えている。
Yes, clearly some drugs could be pushed onto you.
食堂でのお二人の間の距離はこの部屋よりもあったかもしれない。
私たちは落とし穴に落ちてダイレクトにここに落下したわ。集合する下水道管みたいに一度集められてからここに落ちたわけじゃない。落下は一瞬だったでしょ。そんな凝った排水管みたいな穴を転がされた覚えはないわ。
確かに落とし穴では説明がつかんな。おかしな話だ。
それと、キリエ様のおっしゃる人間を即座に混沌させる毒というのはどう関係があるんですか？
キリエ様は多分食堂に落とし穴なんかなかったとお考えなんじゃないかな。
しかし現に私たちは落ちたぞ。
落とし穴に落ちたような気がするが正解よ。無理もないわ。そうとしか例えられない体験だったから。
なるほど。つまりこうおっしゃいたいわけですな。私たちは落とし穴に落とされたのではなく、例えば毒矢のようなもので撃たれ瞬時に意識を失い、その倒れて床に突っ伏す瞬間の記憶をまるで落とし穴に落ちたよと思い込んでしまっているのかもしれないと。
Okay, yes.
なるほど。
Yes, let's go with that theory. That's a good theory from my boy Nanjo.
食堂に無数の落とし穴が仕掛けられていて、我々がそれに何十年も気づかず食事をしていたとするよりは、
Must have taken a lot of darts
よ
to
ほど
take
説
him
得
down.
力のある話だ。
I mean, look at him, dude.
姉さん、時計はある？
I fucking love Nanjo, dude. For real, I love him.
うん。懐中時計があるわよ。22時40分くらいね。
20 to 11?
僕の時計もそうなってる。つまり僕たちは食堂での大騒ぎから十数分も時間を経過させてないってことになる。
Well, there was a lot of them. They could have just dragged us
私
here.
の時計も同様だ。我々が混沌させられてどこかへ担ぎ込まれたと仮定するには、時間の経過が短すぎる。時間だけを見るなら、やはり我々は食堂の真下へ落とし穴で落とされたと考えるのが妥当だ。
時計の針なんていくらでもいじれるわ。私たちが気絶している間に全員の時計を巻き戻したのかもしれない。
Oh, they would have gone through the fucking painstaking process
そ
of
の可
doing
能
that
性
just
がな
to
かった
fuck
こと
with
は
us.
証明不能よ。
Just to fuck with us, they would have done that shit. Okay, you know what? We are on a witch's island, and we can say as much ridiculous shit as we need to fucking
混
win.
沌させる毒にせよ、私たちは用心するに越したことはないというわけですな。
それで南條先生、混沌させる毒は存在するんですか？
それは
I'm sure there is.
キリエさんの論法と同じですな。私の知らない未知の毒物にそういう効用のものがないとは証明
God,
できません。
dude, we went straight to the fucking devil's
用心に
shit.
越したことはないということね。ごめんなさい。無駄な質問だったわ。
No, there has to be a drug. Like, I swear, the fucking name is slipping my mind right
た
now.
だ、私の仮説により、この地下牢が食堂の真下とは限らないという可能性は示唆できたと思う。
Maybe nearby. I don't know.
なるほど。広大な森の中のどこかに隠されていると噂される親父殿の隠し屋敷の地下牢に運び込まれている可能性もあるということか。ここを脱出して外へ出ればそれもわかる。それを詮索するのはここから出てからでもいいだろうな。
その通りね。本当にごめんなさい。さっきから無駄な質問と詮索ばかりだわ。
いや、とても頼もしいよ。今後も何かに気づいたら教えてくれたまえ。ここを脱出する何かのヒントになるかもしれない。ルドルフからいつも聞かされていたよ。君の発想にはいつも驚かされ、時には重要なヒントにもなるとね。
Yes, my girl, she's so smart.
君がここにいてくれたのは不幸中の幸いだ。
ありがとう。
She thinks outside the
私
box.
もルドルフさんに聞いてるわ。クラウス兄さんは普段は威張っているけれど、いざという時は責任感にあふれる頼りがいのある兄だって。
We just fucking saw that. We just saw him just take charge.
さすがにそれは世辞が過ぎるね。くそ。それにしても頑丈な鉄格子だ。
Oh fuck, never mind, bitch. I thought
カノンの
maybe they
方
were
はどうか
fucking
ね。
weak.
いえ、こちらも全く。
Kraus and Kanon tried wiggling each of the bars in various ways. Now then, this might actually not. What am I going to say there? There were a few bars that could be twisted, and a few felt like they had enough room to rattle around a bit. But even so, they could not be broken with human strength alone. However, there was still hope if they could use some kind of lever-like tool. Yes! It was still far too early to give up yet. The children's lives were hanging in the balance. That would the adrenaline, bitch, unlock 100% of your strength. Even if there was no hope, they couldn't stop their struggle. And it was better even for them to act this way. If they were to stop, there was no doubt that they would once again be overcome by the grief of losing their loved ones and crouch down, clutching their knees. You like, it doesn't matter what happens, man. You just gotta keep going if this is the scenario.
キリエさんたちの方はどうかね。何か見つかったかね。
握って隠せる程度の石ころは見つかるわ。こんなものでも武器にはなるかも。
Just gonna stone
さ
someone
す
to
がに
death?
鉄格子を削り取ることは無理でしょうね。シャノンちゃんはどう？
いいえ、何も。
How about using, I don't know. I was gonna say, what?
これ、電話です。
Okay, we got a chair. Hold on, let me look at this. Okay, we got a chair, we got a phone. Cracks in the wall, bricks behind them bitches. We got a broken urn. We have some, are those books or is that fucking wood? A door, some cloth. Man, we ain't gonna do shit with any of
つなが
this.
ってるわけもないわ。でも、コードは何かを縛ったり、武器にも使えるかも。壊して分解すれば、金属部品を取り出せるわ。クラウス兄さん、鉄格子を開ける鍵穴は、もちろんあるわよね。
Man, I wish I was, dude, if I knew chemistry, I could be like, yo, we can use this material in the phone to fucking burn the fucking cells like it's Breaking Bad.
ああ。だいぶ鍵穴の大きい大時代的なものだがね。針金のようなものでいじれば騙せるかもしれないな。
Oh, wow.
電話の金属部品で何か代用できるかもしれない。その電話、武器になるわね。
投資と同じだよ。情報は武器だ。
As Kraus and Korea laughed together at this way of putting their phone to use, which didn't remotely look at it as a means of communication.
何やってんの
Okay, now then, we got a good look at everything. Hold on, let me see. We got a light bulb up. We got some wires coming down. So does this place have electricity? We have a bust, quite literally a bust. Some paintings. Fuck, man. Fuck, I don't know what to do, bitch. Is the roof hollow?
その、電話、つながってるかなって思って。
Is it
バカだな
connected?
姉さんは。
Let's try it. Fuck it.
あれ
Suddenly, Shannon let out a small, surprised cry.
キリエ様この電話、つながってます。
なんですって？
It was like when people move out of an office, taking everything with them, leaving only the telephone behind. That's the feeling the phone gave off, having been left in the corner of the cell. The cord was wound into a coil, one end of it being swallowed by the wall. And at a glance, it looked as if it could possibly be connected. But to think that it actually was. Kyria took the receiver from Shannon and pressed it to her ear. The electric hub was certainly the one with which she was familiar. This phone was indeed live. Okay.
なんという幸運。
Can we call the guest house?
警察へ連絡しましょう。
Yes, the police.
松田も
I don't think it'll reach
話が
though.
うますぎる。盗聴されているんじゃないのかね。
Oh, it could be.
そんな細工するくらいなら普通は電話線を切断するわ。電柱が本気で見落とした可能性が高い。
Dude, they must be fucking dumb as shit.
気づかれたら今度こそ電話線を切断されるかもしれないわ。警察への通報を盗聴されて何も困ることはないのだし。
That did make sense. The point of a wiretap was to overhear some important piece of information. But the way things were now, they could not think of a single thing that would come up in a conversation to the outside world that could be troublesome to have heard. Kiria instantly concluded that it was more likely to be a mistake on Ginzo's part than a trap. Right.
確かに一理ありますね。
Yeah, like what are they gonna do? Oh, they're saying where we are or whatever the
電話
fuck.
確か0番からだ。
カノ君、私は電話するからあなたは外の様子を伺ってくれる？誰かが近づいてくる気配があったら知らせて。
はい。
Cannon raced off towards the iron bar, silenced his breathing, and strained his ears. As everyone present watched her, Kiria dialed 110. The police, Keisatsu. Omawari-san, I think is how you say it. However, she pushed the hook down repeatedly and redialed. It didn't seem to be working very well.
外線は0番から110番は0110じゃないの？うまくかからない。
Oh, that's bullshit.
私がかける。
Yes, come on, my boy must be freaking out. He's like, no, let me do it. I gotta do it. I gotta verify if it really don't work. Kraus took the receiver in Kiria's place and tested various things. I think we can only call here on the island, but in the end, they were unable to notify the police. The phone itself was definitely live, but the circuit was apparently cut somewhere. Did this mean that they were not so naive?
やっぱり無理ですか。
Yappari.
敵も甘くはないってことね。
So they just did, again, they did this just to fuck with us. They could have just cut it here. Oh my god. They love playing, whoever this enemy is. They love playing. They fucked with the fucking, the clocks on our watches. They fucked with the phone. Kiria let out a deep sigh, leaned against the wall, and hung her head for a while. As tough as a girl as she was, for a brief moment, she might actually have had the naive hope that the phone call would actually work. She sneered at herself mockingly for holding on to that naive hope for even one moment. And then, she thought back upon just what was happening here. Honestly, despite having been shown such a thing right before her eyes, or rather exactly because of that, she still could not think of that gruesome mass murder as something real. It was less that she couldn't believe it, and more that she didn't want to. Oh, my favorite bitch. I love this song. Ushiro Miyakinzo had killed 6 members of his family. Look at his fucking face. With 2 sexy bitches. Holy shit, they're fine. He had summoned strange, witch-like, demon-like people right out of thin air. And with something like magic, he had begun to kill people one after another. Oh, what's going on? Too much to handle. Even though she definitely saw it, there was no way she could accept that spectacle.
そんなことあるわけがない。あれはきっとお父様の友人か何か。それがあらかじめ食堂のどこかに隠れていて、手品的に突然姿を現して私たちを驚かせただけなんだわ。そう考えなくちゃあのめちゃくちゃを説明できない。
But when those 6 had their heads blown apart, a golden arrow had fallen around and around the room that had truly looked like, I don't even want to say, magic. Was that another thing we just saw wrong? There's no way it was magic. There must be some kind of trick to it. Since it was capable of smashing heads, there's no doubt it was some explosive. Dude, especially so this is the 80s. I don't know what kind of fucking For example, a styrene toy plane, like they sell at candy stores, painted gold and with a powerful explosive loaded onto the end of it. Wow, man, we are reaching I don't think we've ever reached this fucking hard before. The mental gymnastics are getting so incredible. Yes, he would go through this bullshit. He would get a toy plane, paint it gold for some reason, put a bomb in front of it, and somehow fly it around and detonate it when it hit somebody in the face, and then it would not destroy the toy plane, and the explosive would somehow be able to explode again. Yo, but we are fighting against witches, so let's just go with it. That said, at a glance, it had seemed to be flying at random. Kyrie couldn't imagine that such a thing could be fired 6 times, and each time perfectly hit the victim square in the head, one after the other. Surely its flight wasn't computer controlled to seek out and deliver precise hits on its targets, which could make it a high-tech styrene plane on the same level as a guided missile. Well, Kinzo is rich as fuck, so you could make the argument that he has access to things that the average person doesn't, I guess. Maybe he has access to military-grade equipment. Exactly, yes, he has a lot of money. He's in a different level than anyone else is. Even you guys, as rich as you fuckers are owning companies, he spits on your face. He has so much money. He's so much more power. Oh fuck, never mind. A number of mysterious people had appeared suddenly out of thin air. 6 people had had their heads demolished by a mysterious golden flying object. And the 5 of us were locked away in a mysterious dungeon by a mysterious set of pitfalls, or else put to sleep by some mysterious fainting poison dart that is very mysterious. The family conference started a bit after 10 p.m. It's only been about 30 minutes since then. Probably. Those events, which took place in such a short amount of time, none of us are able to understand nor come to grips with, even though we witnessed them ourselves. Even if we did get a hold of the police, it would probably be impossible for any of us to accurately explain what we saw. I may only just have witnessed it, but my brain's fried and I have no confidence even in what I saw myself. Whatever. Kyrie had to try her hardest to rouse herself from her overwhelming confusion just to hold on to her sanity. Call the fucking guest house. Kraus started to become desperate, hitting the hook multiple times and redialing over and over. I understand, man. Dude, this situation. He too was feigning composure, but was unable to hide his panic. The more he redialed, the more the pretense of serenity peeled away. Listen, you're still alive. Nobody's here in the room besides you guys. None of this makes any sense. Kyrie couldn't help but pray that the events that had just occurred were no more than a dream. Suddenly, the look on Kraus's face changed. What happened, Kraus? No fucking way. Oh, bitch. Everybody, dude, jump. I'm telling you, jumping jacks of joy, bitch. There we go, bitch. I fucking didn't I tell you? Talk, motherfuckers, talk! I must see you converse! There we go, bitch. Okay, good. That must be a very, dude, the relief. The relief, bitch! Oh no, man. Dude, holy shit, the news. Oh, we can't break the news right now. Kraus choked on his words. Kraus had clearly seen Natsuki's head crushed and had seen her killed right before his eyes. Eventually, he was going to have to tell that to Jessica. However, Kraus began to fret over whether he should tell her this very moment and lost his words. But even that was an answer under these circumstances. Yes, it was. Oh man, dude. Yes, they gotta fucking talk to each other. Good. Jessica's voice was filled with tears. There was no doubt for Kraus anymore. Jessica and the others had been told everything, start to finish, by Golda and Kumasawa when they had met up at the guest house. After they learned that 6 whole people had been killed, Jessica and the others must have been in a frenzy about wanting to go to the dining hall. Luckily, he had been able to call before they stormed off towards the mansion. Kraus was relieved at his good timing during such tragedy. Man, bitch, dude. Holy shit. Honestly. No, girl, no, she has this fucking. Oh my god, she is so. Dude, every time this has happened, she has wanted to fucking hurt the person so badly. Kill the fucking killer. Yes, bitch. Get guns? Oh, fuck, they don't have guns.
しかし過信はできない。1階のラウンジの大窓は破られるかもしれない。その部屋にとどまり、ベッドを立てかけてバリケードにするんだ。
Yes.
その部屋にはトイレも冷蔵庫もあるな。明日の朝までは籠城できるはずだ。いいな。くれぐれも物騒なことは考えるな。母さんの敵を取ろうなんて絶対に考えるんじゃないぞ。相手を刺激せず隠れてやり過ごすことだけを考えるんだ。
Yes, revenge can come later. When the police storm the fucking island. Or SWAT team, or whatever they have in Japan. I don't know exactly what they have. Or what it's called over there. After that, Golda took the phone and was told again to watch over the children as a responsible adult. Him and Kumasawa, bitch, they're the only two. Fuck, man. I wish they could. No, wait, George is an adult too. Golda repeatedly replied, yes, sir, in an overstrained voice, his face covered in cold sweat. Dude, I mean, I would imagine. From there, Kiria received the phone and spoke with Battler, and when Shannon and Kanon got their turn, George and Jessica answered. Okay, oh, I wish I could have heard it. And following that, Nanjo and Kumasawa picked up as well, so that all members of both sides had to turn on the phone, each encouraging the other and confirming that they were at least safe for now, even if their location was unknown, and coming to a complete understanding of the current situation for both sides. That's very good. They wanted to talk forever, but now was not the time to chat. Kraus told them that they would be hanging up for now, and those in the guest house agreed.
ってやつ。私たちも頑張ろう。父さんたちもどうか無事で。
もちろんだ。それでは一度休。
I don't know, man. Should they even hang up? It's not like this is a fucking like. It's not like they're in a fucking phone booth where they have to fucking keep putting in coins. Maybe they shouldn't hang up. Or actually, maybe they should because they might, you know, get tipped off. Like, yo, why is this current over here? With that, the phone call ended. Golda and the rest of the men quickly descended the stairs, closed the shutters, and secured the strong locks on the door. I don't know why, but there's something so I bet there's something so cool, so thrilling, entertaining about that don't you wish you were in a situation like this just because it's exciting, it's fun. However, just the thought of it, I mean, just as Kraus had worried, there was nothing that could be done about the beautiful wide window in the downstairs lounge. Yes. Fuck. If this were to be broken, it would be easy for them to get inside. It would be hard for someone like Ginzo, who hadn't hesitated at committing murder, to invade the first floor. Wouldn't.
おじい様たちは武装している可能性が高い。
Dude, I mean, if they come, they're gonna have to fucking walk through all
部屋
that
に閉じこもるの
glass
が最善かつ唯一の籠城方法になるね。自ら密室に閉じこもらざるを得ないのは苦しいところだけど、相手が銃を持っていたらそれしか方法がない。
stuff. Oh, now we're in the locked room.
親方様は実銃のコレクションをお持ちとの話です。
Fuck.
そう。
Yes, I remember
あれ
that.
は銃だ。銃だったんだ。だとしたら恐ろしい威力の銃だ。とても太刀打ちはできません。
Listen, I see bottles were behind my boy. Grab those bottles, smash them motherfuckers on the fucking stairs leading up. Just smash the fucking shit out of them and make sure that they're long and some big ass fucking pieces of glass. Cut them motherfuckers' feet up.
頭を砕くな。
Make them think twice. Yeah, there they are. Look, you see them bitches? See them bitches right here? That's what I'm talking about.
マグナム弾とかそういう類のやつかもな。
Magnum, bitch. Shit, I got some Magnum for you.
下手な扉なら平気で貫通するかもしれねえな。だとすればますますに部屋に籠城するべきだね。
Yes, there's concealment and then there's cover. Right now, it's the only thing they have is concealment.
ベッドを立てかけて窓も塞ごう。そこまですればいくら銃を持っていても踏み込むことはできないはず。くそ、そんな受け身な防戦一方しかねえのかよ。くっしょー、うちの親父に上等を決めてくれてキリエさんまで捕まえたなんて、こいつを高くつくぞ。くそじじい。
Okay, look at my boy Battler.
無理です。あんな連中に太刀打ちできるわけがありません。
He's fucking right. Hell no. Hell no.
しかも親方様だけでなく手下も何人も。あるいはあんな連中がもっといるかも。あいつらは一体何なんだ。
Battler was filled to the brim with the urge to get revenge for Rudolph and to rush out of here to save Kirie. But just by looking at how terrified Golda was, there was no doubt in him that that would be reckless. No shit. No shit.
兄貴だって悔しいだろ。
Listen, you're not a tough guy. Well, you are a tough guy, but you're not a tough guy.
なのにここで籠城なんて。ちくしょ
Boy, they got guns.
う。もちろんさ。僕だって悔しいよ。両親を殺されて冷静でいられるわけがない。でもだからこそ冷静にならなくちゃいけない。僕たちが無駄に命を落とすようなことを殺された親たちが望むと思うかい？
Exactly.
思うわけがない。せめて子供だけは逃げ延びてほしいと願ってるはずだ。だから僕は生き残るよ。そして警察に通報し全てを暴く。
Yes.
仇は法廷が取る。
Yes.
それが僕の復讐だ。
Oh, yes, and we have to reproduce and continue the bloodline because if you all die right now, then that's the end of the Ushiromiya family.
差し違えてでも仇を取ってほしいなんて 親たちが望んでいるわけもない。
On.
そうだろう。そうだな。兄貴の言う通りだぜ。ちくしょう、クソじじいめ。
Yes. Talk that shit, battler.
俺
Do
たち
it.
がそのための生贄だって言うなら、意地でも逃げ切って、その儀式を
Yeah,
台無
fuck
し
up
に
the
してやる
whole
ぜ。
goddamn motherfucking stupid ass ritual, bitch. You ain't getting that shit off.
それに、バトラ君にはまだキリエさんがいる。僕にだってシャノンがいる。
Yes.
とにかく慎重に行動してチャンスを待とう。僕たちの不用意な行動は囚われの彼らに不利益を与える可能性だってあるんだから。
Oh,
人質。でもじい様はきっとキリエさんたちを生贄にするために捕らえたわけだろう。俺たちが助けなきゃ殺されるのを待つだけじゃないのか。
Sitting ducks. Oh, they'll escape. I
彼らが
trust
捕ら
them.
えられている地下牢がどこにあるかもわか
Yeah,
らない。
that's the thing. Yeah, where the fuck are you gonna go?
シャノンもカノン君ももちろんゴーダさんも熊沢さんも知らなかった。おじい様だけしか知らない秘密の場所にある可能性が極めて高い。
Obviously, dude. If he's gonna do it, then only he's gonna know
そ
about
んな状況下でうろうろと歩き回るのは自殺行為だよ。
it. Yeah,
わかってるよ。
yeah. You're just gonna walk around and just hope that you stumble upon it? Like, come on, dude. It's fucking raining outside too. It's storming. It's black. It's dark outside. You're never gonna find that fucking place.
くそ。俺たちはここで何かが起こるまで引きこもってるしかねえってのかよ。
Yeah.
バトラ様のお気持ちはわかりますが、ここは安全第一で参りましょう。旦那様の話では相当古い牢屋らしいので、なんとか鉄格子を破れるかもしれないとのことでした。今は信じて待つ方が賢明です。
Yes.
おじい様の手下が何人もいてみんな武装しているんだよね。
ええ、そうです。そして多分みんな武装を。
Goda had been able to say that Ginzo had others on his side, but he had not been able to mention that they were mostly all young women, like witches, and committed their murders using strange magic. If he had said that, it would only have caused the others to doubt his sanity. No, in fact, he himself still couldn't understand what he had seen, and was doubting his own sanity. But regardless of sex or appearance, regardless of whether it was done with magic or gun, the fact that those girls had followed Ginzo's orders and killed 6 people in an instant was an unshakable truth. If those people came to attack the guest house as well, what would happen? Just closing the doors and windows like this was surely meaningless. We should have asked them, yo, can you guys hear the rain outside? And if only we had a gun, we could shoot it off and be like, oh, do you hear it from where you are? You know, things like that. Goda, as well as Kumasawa. The only thing left for those two, who had witnessed that massacre in the dining hall, was to cradle their heads, not even knowing how to interpret what they had seen.
熊沢さん大丈夫？
I am so happy that my girl Kumasawa is alive because I don't think she's ever survived, right? Maybe she survived the first, I can't remember, before, but she's like never survived much. We haven't seen her talk to that much.
お茶飲む？
ありがとうございますね。ありがとうございます。
Oh, my poor girl, she is so
申し
stressed.
訳ございませんが、しばらくそっとしていただけますか。
Oh, that poor woman. Maria tried to be nice, but it seemed that Kumasawa still wasn't able to clear away her confusion.
マリア、気を使ってくれてありがとうだぜ。熊沢さんは休ませてやってくれ。
Jessica, too, showed consideration for Kumasawa, certain of the shock she must have received after witnessing such a tragedy. But her imagination couldn't come even... Fuck me. But her imagination couldn't even come close to the impossible scene Kumasawa had witnessed. Nevertheless, with her mother having been killed, and her father having been captured, there was no way that Jessica could stay calm either. She sealed her anxiety and sadness using her anger towards Ginzo and walked irritatedly around the room. Dude, that must be some crazy shit.
熊沢さん、母さんは 本当に死んじゃったの？
ええ。
Oh.
あんなひどい死に方を私は見たことがありませんと。
Oh, you're just gonna stir her up, man. You're just gonna stir her up, Kumasawa.
ひょっとするとまだ生きてて手当てをすれば助かるなんてことはないんだよな。
What would you even say at this point? Would you have to say yes just to make her feel better at this point in time?
頭があんなことになって生きていられるわけがありません。
You know what? My girl is not bullshitting. She's not pulling any punches. She's being very truthful, and I gotta respect that.
そりゃそうだぞ。頭が砕けちまったら手当てなんて必要ねえよな。
Fuck. When Golda had come flying into the guest house, overcome with agitation, he had told about the massacre in the dining hall without concealing anything, except for the part about the witches and magic, which they themselves still could not believe. In other words, they hadn't even sugarcoated the cold-blooded way in which Natsuki and the others had died. It was too late now, but Kumasawa regretted having obviously said too much. However, while lightly shaking her head and with a slightly painful laugh, Jessica spoke.
いや、むしろ話してくれたおかげで冷静になれたぜ。頭を砕かれちまったってところを伏せられてたら、私はひょっとすると生きてるかもしれないって言って、屋敷へ向かいじいさまに手食わして、ひょっとすると殺されてたかもしれない。
Yeah, you don't want to do that, girl.
一末の希望が命取りになった可能性だってあるわけさ。その意味では感謝してるよ。
本当に申し訳ございません。言葉をあまりに選ばなかったことはお詫びします。
今はいいよ。母さんはもうどうしようもないけど、父さんはまだ生きてる。カノン君もシャノンもキリエおばさんも南條先生もね。なんとか彼らを助けたいし、彼らに負担をかけないためにも余計なことをするべきではない。電話の前で待機してることが今は一番の協力になるかもしれないし。
Dude, it just hit me. It just hit me. I just remembered the Virgilia shit with my girl Kumasawa. What is that gonna come to play? No, it's not. Let me stop. There could be a phone call asking them to create a diversion to facilitate their escape. Or perhaps the others might learn their location and call for rescue. Jessica understood that in order to act promptly when that time came, the only thing they could do for the time being was to wait in this room. Yes. We must look at them, bitch. The man just came through, bitch. George, Battler, and Golda returned, having finished checking all of the locks downstairs. Each of the three were holding a bunch of different objects. George had things like drinks, I knew it, canned food, crackers, and other types of snacks that he found in the lounge and pantry, as well as a first aid kit. Ooh, that's very, very good. All consumables that would be indispensable while they were locked down. Golda had a large folding ladder and carpentry tools. Those were so that, in the case of an emergency, they could nail over the door from the inside to seal it. If it came to that, the ladder was for escaping out the window. Very good. Battler had brought up objects which could be used as weapons, such as blades and poles. Okay. Dude, yes. Lances, or yeah, something like that. A long stick, that's a very good thing to have. The kitchen knives went without saying. Disassembled table legs could be used as clubs. You're gonna club somebody to death, bitch? Damn. Brutal. And a pole roughly the size of a person. Oh, nice. Which had been made by taking apart a hat stand. Could surely be used as a spear, even though it had no point. I don't know, just tape something to it. Or smash it until the top of it is crumpled into like a point. there was a good possibility that the enemies were carrying guns, so it was dubious whether these would be of any use. I'd rather be caught with it than without it. That's all I must say. But it was still better than not having them. Yep. And if those things could be provided at least a little piece of mind, they could also expect some kind of calming effect from them. Dude, this song. Then they placed beds and sofas around the room up against the door, barricading it. You only need to use one, really. They didn't go so far as to seal it up with nails. There was still the chance that Kraus and the others would escape and come to meet up. Yeah. They had apparently set up a barricade at the top of the stairs as well. Yes, smart! I was gonna say, dude, smash the bottles like I said. It had not yet actually. It had been designed to create a racket, so it would work in a place of a warning alarm as well. It was apparently Battler's idea. Smart boy! For that reason, they turned the TV off. So that if the first floor window were to be broken, they would know by the sound. Once the switch had been turned off, all that was left was an eerie silence. Can we play cards while we wait? The sound of the violent wind and rain. Okay, so this is where that is. Okay. Yes, so this is the window. Which means either back here or right here is where that bar is. Were they going to have to spend the whole night in such crushing suspense? The boat was meant to be coming tomorrow morning. However, judging by the weather report, the typhoon was expected to continue all day tomorrow and the boat probably wouldn't come. The typhoon would pass in the morning of the day after tomorrow. In other words, the boat would be coming the morning of the day after tomorrow, as in the morning of October 6th. And right now, it was late at night, October 4th. They would have to spend more than 30 hours on this island, with Ginzo turned cold-blooded murderer and his weird companions prowling about. Bitch. Even with the shutters closed, there would definitely be a little bit of light seeping out. It might let the enemy know that they were hiding there. Battler suggested that it might be best to turn off the lights, but they had already been taken over by such a ghastly feeling from just turning off the TV. There wasn't anyone who directly challenged his proposal, but then again, there wasn't a single other person who agreed to it. We'll drink some water.
テレビダメなの？
ああ、悪いが我慢してくれ。敵の侵入の音を聞き逃すわけにはいかない。
つまんない。
Come on, just turn it on. Even though she had been told that her mother had died, like it doesn't have to be blasting. Maria alone somehow didn't seem to feel an approaching sense of danger. It seemed she was quite displeased with having the TV turned off. Even with this bizarre situation in front of her, she can't share our sense of danger. Because she's so young? To Battler right now, seeing that young girl act in a way that was even slightly out of place made him feel like there was something very eerie about Maria. Oh, well. She killed her.
とは言ったものの、万策尽きたわね。鉄格子はなんとかなりそう？
残念だが、想像以上に堅牢だ。いつ頃に作られたものか知らんが、耐用年数も文句なし。実に優良な物件だよ。
Fuck. Okay. Kiria chuckled softly. They had no moves they could make, but the mood had calmed just a little.
さながらここは取られた駒を置く駒置き場ですな。打つ手はもはやありませんか。
There has to be something.
諦めるには早いわ。思考の停止は鼓動の停止に同じよ。
Yes, I think that. Dude, I have that same thought process a lot.
だな。チェスの駒置き場に意味はないが、将棋ならば大きな意味を持つこともある。駒置き場の一枚の歩が、相手にプレッシャーを与えることだってあるはずだ。
なるほど。しかし、この鉄格子はどうしようも。
私たちにはね、 でも、ここの場所を特定し、合田さんに連絡することができれば、助けに来てもらうことはできるかも。
なるほど。しかし合田さんに危険を強いることになりますな。その場合、成人男性が不在になるゲストハウスのお子さんたちも不安です。
リスクを恐れるなら、事態が好転するまで塩漬けにするのも悪くない。もっとも、損切りを恐れれば、紙切れ同然になるかもしれんがね。我々の命がだが。
親の子犬もね。私たちで何とかするからおとなしくしていなさいって偉そうに電話して、その下の根も乾かないうちに助けを求めるなんて。実に格好悪いわね。
この後に及んでは、くだらんプライドなどとっくに紙切れだ。知恵を絞ろうじゃないか。ここはどこなんだ？本当に食堂の真下なのだろうか。それとも、屋敷とは異なる別の場所だろうか。
Kraus, Kitty, and Nanjo began to discuss their plans. Kennen was squatting by the bar, silently trying to sense anyone's presence, just as he had been ordered. Shannon came close to him, and they both squatted down together.
気配は感じるの？
こちらに意識は向けていないけれど、比較的近くに誰かいる。
それは人間？
ヤギたちだと思う。
No.
あいつらの吐息は実に賑やかだよ。
The fucking goats, dude. God damn. Kennen's ability to sense the presence of others was several levels above that of a human. He described their breathing as noisy, but Kraus and the rest couldn't even pick up in the slightest hint of it. Therefore, even if he had simply reported it, they would merely have doubted his ears.
捕まっちゃったね。
珍しいよ。殺されないで捕まるなんて。
今回はベアトリーチェ様がお越しにならないし、親方様が書斎を出られるし、何が何だかわかんないね。
わかるさ。何が起ころうと変わろうと、すべてあの魔女の気まぐれと余興。結果は何も変わらないのさ。
今回は黄金鏡に行けるかな。
さあね。僕たちは脱落率が高いから。
そういえば、二人で第一の番を生き延びたのって、ずいぶん珍しいね。儀式が始まってるのに、こうして二人でお話できるなんて、なんだかすごく珍しい気がする。
そうかもね。でも、それもまた、魔女の余興だろうさ。僕たちがいつもすぐに脱落するから、今度は少し生き延びさせて、からかってやろうくらいにしか思ってないよ。
また、黄金鏡にはたどり着けないのかな。
どうせそうさ。下手な期待を持つと、またつけ込まれる。
そうだね。前回はカノン君がつけ込まれたもんね。
僕はバカだ。
Kanon made a sour look and turned his head. Shannon laughed softly and apologetically leaned toward his shoulder.
でも、お嬢様が無事でよかったね。
第一の番を逃れただけさ。それ以降の番に、より無残な方法で殺されるのを待たされているだけかもしれない。それを言ったら姉さんこそ、ジョージ様が無事でよかったじゃないか。二人で黄金鏡にたどり着けるといいね。
ありがとう。同じことをカノン君とお嬢様にも。
僕は期待はしてないよ。
Oh, really?
姉さんの言う通りだ。あの魔女は、ご褒美をぶら下げて、相手が右往左往するのを見て、楽しんでるだけなんだ。どうせ誰も、黄金鏡に行けやしない。僕がお嬢様と黄金鏡にたどり着きたいと願ってしまったなら、あいつはそれこそ面白がって、 絶対に僕たちをたどり着かせたりはしないさ。
そうだね。ベアトリーチェ様は、より面白くなるように、生贄の順番を考えてる。
無作為に選んでるなんて、大嘘だ。あのペテン師魔女め。どうせ、黄金鏡にたどり着けば、あらゆる願いが叶うなんてのも。
そんなことはないよ。黄金鏡は、素晴らしいところだよ。
行ったことあるの？
ちょっぴりだけね。それすらも、ベアトリーチェ様の戯れだったのだろうけど。
Okay.
どんなとこなの？そこ。
Hold up.
素晴らしいところだよ。うまく説明できない。安らかな、夢の中みたいな世界。
バラが咲き乱れてて、美しい蝶が舞ってるような、極楽みたいな感じ。
そういう具体的なイメージのところじゃないの。本当に夢の中みたいなところなの。そこにいるときは、とても穏やかで安らかで、いつまでも眠ってることを許されてる。まるで休日の早朝のお布団の中みたいな感じ。
What the hell?
カーテンの隙間から日が差してきて、そろそろ起きないと思うんだけど、今日は休日だから起きなくてもいいんだって気づいて、もう一回お布団の中に潜り込む時みたいな、そんな気持ちになれる場所。
僕なら損したと思うな。休日なのに勘違いして起き出すなんて、姉さんくらいだ。
Right. I hate that shit too.
それで、
そこにいた時はね、満たされてて、とても穏やかだった。でも、元の世界に戻ってくると、つい直前までそこにいたはずなのに、うまく思い出すことができないの。
Okay, so it feels like a dream. It feels
つい
like a
さっき
memory.
まで見ていた
It's
夢が
beautiful.
思い出せないのによく似てる。でも、とっても穏やかで、静かな世界だったことだけは覚えてるの。
それだけ？なんだ。あいつが偉そうに言う黄金鏡なんて、大したことないな。何でも願いが叶う場所だと思ってたのに。
その通りだよ。何でも願いが叶う場所。少し違うかもしれない。何も願わなくてもいい場所が正解かもしれないね。
Huh.
例えばカノン君が寒くて上着が欲しいと願った時、上着をもらえればとても幸せなことだけど、そもそも暖かい部屋にいられたなら上着が欲しいなんて願う必要さえもないでしょ。黄金鏡はそういうところなの。大抵の願いは願う必要さえなくなる。すべてから解放された何もかもが穏やかな世界なの。与えられて幸せという概念さえも超越したすべてから解放された世界とでも言えばいいのかな。
なんだか宗教っぽい世界だな。
そしてそこではすべてが平等なの。意志ある存在はすべてが平等。人間も家具も魔女もない。そこでの私は誰とも対等で公平。もう家具だからと何も自分を恥じる必要がない。すべての人間とも、そして魔女とさえ対等な本当に幸せな世界だったの。うまく思い出せないけど、そこでは私、ベアトリーチェ様とさえ対等な関係で、良い友達でいられた気がする。
あの魔女がいるなら、ろくな理想郷じゃないよ。で、その幸せな黄金鏡に、姉さんはジョージ様と一緒に行きたいわけだ。おかしな話だね。黄金鏡は全てが満ち足りた理想郷なわけでしょ。ジョージ様がいなくても十分に満たされてそうだけど。
黄金鏡はね、とても穏やかで安らかで全てが対等で公平だけれど、幸せだけ実は抜けてるの。
幸せな世界じゃないの？
もちろん安らかで穏やかで公平というだけですごい幸せな世界だよ。でもそれは例えるなら全ての悩みというマイナスから解放されたゼロの世界なの。人の世はマイナスで満ちてるから、もちろんゼロというのはものすごい幸福なわけだけど贅沢だよね。それはこういう感じ。穏やかな休日の朝のまどろみの時、最愛の人も隣にいてくれて手を握っててくれたなら、もっともっと素敵な幸せになれる。ごめん、姉さんは例えが下手くそだね。
No, that makes sense.
つまり姉さんにとっての最高の幸せとはジョージ様と一緒にその世界にたどり着くことってわけだ。
そしてきっとカノン君にとってはお嬢様と一緒にその世界にたどり着くことだよ。
公平な世界で二人は悩みから解放されなんだかおかしな宗教を吹き込まれてるみたいだ。僕はもっとこう俗物的な。
Wait a minute. I'm just thinking, the second Twilight, is it gonna be Canon and Shannon right now? Because they're separated from the other two as they're talking.
魔法の薬を与えられると人間に生まれ変われるとか、そういう感じの世界を想像してたよ。
行けばわかるよ。ベアトリーチェ様が本当に気まぐれな方なら、いつかきっとカノン君にも垣間見させてくれるに違いない。そうすれば姉さんの例えがよくわかるようになるから。
ま、過剰な期待はしないことにしとくよ。いずれにせよ今回の僕たちはこれでゲームオーバーみたいだし、別の機会に期待するさ。
そうだね。おかしな期待を持つとベアトリーチェ様にまたつけ込まれる。何も考えずただ運命に身を任せるのが私たちには一番かもしれない。
僕たちはただチェスの駒であればいいんだ。何を考えても考えなくてもどうせ魔女のチェス盤からは逃れられない。後のお役目はどういびり殺されるかただ待つことだけさ。そんな僕らに黄金鏡の夢なんて虚しすぎる。
そうだね。ごめん。
Cannon shrugged his shoulders, then told Shannon to leave him alone because she was interfering with his duty, distancing himself from her. Realizing his thoughtlessness in bringing up such an inappropriate topic and instead hurting Cannon, Shannon bit her lower lip and stared at the ground. She wouldn't bother him anymore. She went off and squatted in a corner by herself. At that moment, Cannon twitched. It was like the ears of a cat when it reacts to a faint sound.
どうしたの？
旦那様、誰か来ます。
何？
Fuck, what is this gonna mean? The end of their conversation was strained their ears. For a while, they couldn't hear anything, but before long, they were able to hear the sounds of a large group of people.
おいでなすったわね。
Fuck, we're dead.
年貢の納め時かさもなくも最初で最後のチャンス。
Kraus, Kyrie, Nanjo, Canon Shen, we're dead.
私が金蔵さんと話しましょう。
Oh, Nanjo, please, bitch. Our lives are in your hand, my dude.
ここの場所を聞き出してみます。
期待してるわ。
Yo, call the dude. This is what they should do. They should immediately get to that fucking phone, call it, leave it like barely off of the receiver, barely off of the shit, or just leave it to the side and let them hear it. During the last phone call, Kiri had asked what the time was over at the guest house was. It had been the same as her watch, and by this, she had learned that their watches hadn't been set back. It wasn't just the clocks on the walls in the guest house. Several people's watches, including George and Golda's, had matched. If that was the case, then after this massacre in the dining hall, they had been transported to the dungeon in only a few minutes. Not enough time had passed for them to be knocked out and carried away. Then were those really pitfalls, meaning that this was the area directly under the dining hall? All they could do was pray that Nanja could find out where this was.
来ます。多分、人数は4人。親方様、並びに食堂に姿を現したうちの3人かと。
Oh boy.
もう十分だ。君も後ろに下がりたまえ。あとは私たちで応対する。
Dude, the fucking nerves would be killing my ass.
申し訳ないけど、電話のところに座ってもらえる？
Yes, yes, good,
ス
good.
カートで電話を隠して。
Dude, call them motherfuckers. Oh, damn, we got a very big close-up. The presence came closer, and there was the sound of a heavy door being opened at the other end of the corridor. Okay, a door, okay. The light they were apparently carrying illuminated the dimly lit corridor, stroking the walls with razor-sharp shadows. And then, the light from the lantern they held lit up the prisoners through the bars. The bars' sharp shadows divided them lengthwise. There were 4 figures there. It was Ginzo, Renove, Virgilia, and Gap.
後ろ宮家当主ゴールドスミス教のおなりでございます。皆様ご静粛。
ゴールドスミス？
親父殿のペンネームだ。怪しげな魔導書を書くとき、そういう名を署名しているようだ。
金
Goldsmith.
像を英語風に？それならゴールドウェアハウスが正しいんじゃないの？
There he is, bitch.
ウェアハウスは倉庫、ただ溜め込むに過ぎぬ。しかし私は金を生み出し、細工し、さらに価値を高めるのだ。スミスの方がよりふさわしいと思わんかね。
確かに無駄口を失礼しました。
金蔵さん、これはどういうことなんだね。
Oh,
ここは一体
bitch.
どこなんだ。おや、我が友よ、思い出せんかね。さすがにその牢の中に入った経験はないだろうが、この廊下を歩いた記憶はあるはずだ。まさか。
心当たりがあるの？
いや、しかし、考えられない。
Okay, so he has an idea.
第一、私たちは落とし穴に落ち、しかもほんの数分でここに閉じ込められたのです。
Imagine okay, so we're on an island. We're in Rokenjima. Imagine he says, "Yo, I saw this corridor in fucking in mainland Japan, thousands of miles away."
物理的に、距離的に。
I fucking knew it! Didn't he say the distance is too great?
人間にはね。
お父さん、ここは屋敷ですか？屋敷にこんな地下があったとは。
フラウス、お前たちがその存在をささやき、何度か私の後をつけ回して探ろうともしたではないか。それがここだよ。いや、正確にはそこの地下と言うべきか。
The other mansion, Guadorian, right? I think. Guadorian.
まさかここは。
There it is! Guadorian. Guadorian. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
ご検察の通りです。こちらはクワドリアンの地下でございます。
Dude, they're never gonna find that
Guadorian.
fucking
まさか
Guadorian.
噂の親父殿の隠し屋敷なのか？本当に実在したのか？
我が最愛の魔女ベアトリーチェのためだけに築いた屋敷で
And Nanjo explored this place.
地上部分は美しき上品な屋敷なのであるが、そこを案内できず実に残念に思うぞ。
こんな牢屋があるお屋敷で二人きりなんて素敵ね。どうもお父様とは性癖が合わないみたいよ。キリエさん、無礼な発言はお控えになった方が賢明ですよ。でも同感よ。私も送られた屋敷にこんな地下牢があったら100年の恋も冷めて金目のものだけいただいてとんずらするわ。
おや、そういうご趣味はございませんか？てっきりキュンキュンしちゃうとばかり。
もちろんキュンキュンしちゃうわよ。誕生日のプレゼントに首輪なんかもらっちゃったりしたらな。ただしイケメンに限る。
Oh, damn, that counts me out.
お静かに。首輪には猿器が必要ですか？
Oh, there we hey, yes.
あら、あなたはそっちもいけちゃうの？リアって好き嫌いないのね。勝手に人の名前を略さないでください。
やかましいぞ女たち。お前たちも同じ牢に閉じ込められたいというのか。
これは失礼いたしました、親方様。この牢体にこのような寒い牢獄では身が持ちません。
Virgilia quickly apologized, but Grab merely laughed together with Renault. It was like she was saying that she wouldn't be captured. Or else, that even if she were to be captured, it would be meaningless.
牢とは捕らえ逃がさぬこと。それはすなわち、生涯手放さぬとの強い意志と愛である。逃げても諦められる程度の女ならば、愛を語るに値しない。鎖で縛ってでも逃がしたくないと思うほどに苦しくなる女。そこまでに至ってこそ、我が生涯を捧げるに値する愛である。
Listen, that's it. My definition of love is not. I mean, I hate being restricted, so I would not want someone else to be
お
restricted.
前にそれを別れとは言わぬよ。
私は誰にも縛れない。
I'm with her. I'm with her right
愛さ
now.
れたいんじゃないの。愛したいの。私もゴールドスミスと同じよ。だからよくわかるわ。
愛と狂気は紙一重というわけか。実に旗迷惑の話だ。
しかしあっさり所在地が分かったのは大きいわ。詳しい経緯は後で聞くけど、南條先生はここをご存知なのね。
はい。そこの廊下がクアドリアンの地下通路だ。あの先をまっすぐ行けば長い地下道になり、それをずっと歩けば屋敷に戻れるはずだ。
この鉄格子さえ何とかできれば屋敷に帰れるってことね。
お父さん、私たちをどうするつもりですか？
すでに宣告した通り、お前たちは後の晩のための生贄である。都合よく人数も5人。えぐりて殺す5人の人質にぴったりであろう。
なるほど。私たちも年貢の納め時というわけですか。
やがてはな。だが今はそのために訪れたのではない。それに言ったはずだ。もしも孫たちの誰かが我が全てを継承するにふさわしいと認められたなら、つまりお前たちは命拾いをするというわけだ。お子さんたちに何をするつもりですか？次期当主にふさわしいかどうかテストを与える。その結果、私をうならせる者が一人でもいたならば儀式は中断する。
ふさわしい者がいなかったら子供たちはどうするつもりですか？
それを心配する必要はない。どうせ先に生贄とされるのはお前たちだ。
You fucking
そ
bastard.
の後のことなど知ったことではなかろう。
No.
お前たちは自らの命運を自らの子供たちに委ねるのだ。お前たちが産み教え育ててきた結晶が子供たちだ。お前たちの命運を委ねるに実にふさわしい存在のはず。そう心配そうな顔をするなよクラウス。お前の自慢の100億の価値のある娘を信じろよ。
まったくね。子供は親の結晶よ。 親の命運を預けるにふさわしいわ。お父様にとってもね。
肝の据わった女だ。ルドルフにはもったいない。
You think so?
キリアさん、あまり挑発しない方がいい。
どうかんだ。今は耐えよ
う。そうね。どうせ私たちはまな板の上の恋よ。
At least we know where we
今
are,
更
though.
何もできやしない。
私に対し威勢のいい口を叩くことはできるがな。嫌いではないぞ、そういう女は。ベアトリーチェも初めはそういう女だった。
親方様、そろそろ本題を。さっきから脱線しまくりです。
おお、そうであったな。すまぬすまぬ我が友よ。それでは本題に入ろう。そのために電話を用意しておいたのだ。
What the fuck are you talking
シャノ
about?
ン、知恵が回るな。
Of course, man. There's no way they were that
隠さなくて
stupid.
もよいぞ。それは私が用意させ
There's
た
no
のだ。
fucking way. Oh, okay.
失礼いたしました。
Shanna quickly withdrew, and the telephone was revealed.
クラウ
Fuckers.
スよ。ゲストハウスの孫たちに電話をかけるがよい。そして我がテストを、試練の始まりを彼らに告げるのだ。
With a gesture that seemed to be saying, "Go ahead," Renova urged Kraus to pick up the
う。嫌
receiver.
だと。
ほほう。取引の余地がどこにあるというのか。お前が電話をせぬというなら、孫たちにはチャンスさえも与えぬ。後ろ宮家はこれにて終わり。お前たちは直ちに生贄だ。
直ちに生贄なら幸運よ。あなたたちの眼前で子供たちを先に生贄にされた方が辛いと思うけれど。
Oh boy.
生贄の順番は親方様が決めます。勝手なことを言わないように。
リア、今私の名前を縮めようとして詰まったでしょ。
Oh my god.
してません。だから勝手に人の名前を略さないように。
There's infighting. We can use that to our
女は
advantage.
実に。
かしましいですな。
Wow, bitch. Okay, that has to be the end, dude. It's 8 p.m. I can't be made. Oh shit, the world 12. Okay, 12 years again. Oh yes, again. I'm just gonna go ahead and end it right now, man. That episode, dude. That episode was that chapter. I mean, that chapter was fucking fun, dude. I loved it. I loved it so fucking much.